Chris Brintle. Chris Brintle.
Who's next? Newsradio 1270, 106.7 KIML. Don Carpenter Show. Chris Brintle is next.
DC.
Okay, well, it was only a matter of time. Helena, Montana. A Helena man is accused of threatening to shoot someone for posting spoilers to the new Star Wars movie on Facebook. Arthur Charles Roy, 18, became enraged when an online friend told him about a subplot of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Court documents said he sent the victim a picture of himself with a gun and implied the firearm had a hair trigger. Authorities later learned the weapon was a BB gun. He's in Montana and couldn't find a real gun. He faces a felony charge of assault with a weapon. I guess he threatened to come to the guy's school. Oh, geez. It gets worse.
Oh, wow.
He threatened to come to the victim's school, the Front Street Learning Center, which houses the Project for Alternative Learning, and shoot him. So not only did he threaten to come to a school, he threatened to come to the special school and shoot the guy.
Wow.
The school was put on lockdown. He was being held in the county jail on $10,000 bond. He also, this guy's. He also has a pending charge of felony sexual intercourse without consent for an alleged October incident with an underage girl. Okay, this guy. Okay, all of a sudden it's not a funny story anymore.
Yeah.
Why do they have to put that in there?
They really put a damper on this one.
The guy's a real problem. The least of his problems is threatening to shoot someone over Star Wars spoilers.
Sounds like this guy should be shot. I mean, let's.
Maybe if it was a real gun, he might have had an accidental discharge or something. Okay, so that guy aside, I will say I did have to use the mute feature on Twitter and Facebook quite a few times in the week leading up to the Star Wars movie.
Wow.
And I think some people do it on purpose. Now, where do you stand on that kind of stuff as far as spoilers? People giving away the endings for movies or TV shows.
I think it's pretty obvious. If you would purposely give away a movie, especially like Star Wars, I mean, people have been talking about this for months now. If you would purposefully give it away, the ending, you're a loser. How about that? That's where I stand. Like, you're a complete loser, and I would probably kick you off my Facebook, and block you, and probably never speak to you again.
Well,
because then, that's just malice. It's malice.
Okay, I'm going to give you a true life story now. This is my experience, and I'll ask you the moral conundrum that I was in with this. So a friend of mine. First off, with Star Wars, there really aren't a lot of surprises in it. It doesn't have a twist ending. It's pretty straightforward. But there is one moment in the movie, and I'm not going to say what it is. But there is one moment in the movie that a friend of mine posted, and I don't know how he knew it, because I mean he hadn't seen the movie. The movie hadn't been released yet, but about 2 days before the movie started. He posted this moment, said so-and-so does something else. And I was like, oh my God, seriously? It didn't affect my enjoyment of the movie. I'll say that. I mean, once you watch the movie, the thing that this guy said was pretty obvious that it was going to happen. But it was still a spoiler.
Now, you do that was it just something?
Oh, he did it on purpose.
Just to be a jerk?
Oh, yeah.
Did you block this guy?
Okay, here's the thing. I muted him. I didn't completely. Normally, I would completely just ditch somebody as a friend on Facebook. Here's the thing. He's dying of cancer.
Oh.
So my friend, and he's got a good sense of humor about it, so I can talk about it in these ways. He shows pictures of his chemo and that kind of stuff. He's got stage 4 terminal cancer of some sort. He won't even say what kind it is. But I couldn't bring myself to completely ditch the guy.
I would have. You should have just blocked him anyway.
I bet some people did. I was like, "Oh, come on, man! You're killing me here."
His ailment has nothing to do with the Star Wars thing.
And
I'm not saying never talk to him again. Yeah. I'm just saying maybe on Facebook it's not the right relationship.
Yeah. And he would be the first to say that too. He's got this guy, when he found out he had cancer, and he didn't tell anybody for about 3 years.
Wow.
He quit his job, sold his house, and went on the road as a professional poker player.
That's the way to do it.
He traveled he bought a brand new car, bought a nice little fuel efficient car, and drove from casino to casino, beating people up in poker, taking their money. He's made a ton of money playing poker. He was a good poker player, but his life dream was to be a professional poker player. So he's lived the last few years of his life.
How's it going with the battle?
Oh, he's trying a new treatment that would give him some more time, but it's terminal. So he's got about a year left.
Wow.
He's drinking beer, smoking cigars, playing poker, hanging out with his friends. He's making the best of his time.
How about that? That's a pretty cool story there.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. Other than the Star Wars spoiler.
Other than that one.
Well, now I actually have developed a rule of thumb for spoilers. The way it is, I won't talk about, if somebody asks me online about stuff, I won't give away spoilers. For TV shows, I usually give it about 72 hours. If you don't watch the show within 3 days, fair game.
I think it's a great rule. I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
For a movie, I'll give you a month.
I would say I could understand the 96-hour rule, though.
Yes.
Close. It's close.
3 or 4 days.
Yes.
Not a week.
A week's too much.
Especially if it's a weekly show.
The next episode's going to be
the next episode, and then you're behind. So, 72 hours, 96 hours, 3 or 4 days. That's the rule of thumb for TV shows.
I like that.
For a movie, I'll give it a month. A month from now, I'll be comfortable talking about what happens in Star Wars, because again, if you haven't seen it within a month, that's on you.
Yeah, and I don't have to worry about it because I don't go on social media. So.
Yeah.
But I would say even if I haven't seen the movie, but even if I had seen the movie, I wouldn't tell any. I think the month rule is pretty good because I wouldn't spoil it.
No.
Actually, I'd probably never talk about it, honestly. But
well, at this point, it's pretty safe to say that Bruce Willis was a ghost in Sixth Sense.
Well, right.
That movie's 20 years old.
Exactly.
I've had people get mad at me for spoiling old movies. I forget which one. It might have been...
well, they should learn a lesson from it and watch the movie.
Yeah, it might have been Goodfellas.
It's 20 years old.
Yeah, it might have been Goodfellas or something like that.
Well, that's even older.
Yeah, it was an old movie, and I spoiled it. I said something about the ending, and they're like, "Oh, you spoiled it. The movie's 20 years old. Get over it. If you haven't seen it by now, it's on you." So a month and then a year for books. I don't really read a whole lot of fiction books, but I figure if the book has been out for a year, I know people don't have a lot of time for reading, and it takes them a while to finish a book sometimes. So a year for books. So, for instance, saying that the little sister dies at the end of the Hunger Games books is all right because they've been out for years. The movie has been out for more than a month.
Yeah, so you're good on that.
That's a fair spoiler to give.
Darn it, DC! I'm watching it this weekend. DC, that really grinds my gears.
It's been out for more than a month. The book has been out for 3 or 4 years.
You spoiled it for me, DC. I wasn't going to watch that movie anyway.
It's pretty good. You actually should.
You spoiled it for me, DC.
So 72 or 96 hours for TV, a month for movies, a year for books.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think you're going to get emails over this. This Hunger Games. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I was going to wait till the DVD came out. No, that's not how it works.
You can call Don at.
That's not how it works. I can say with certainty that it's all right for me to, for instance, say that Tyler Durden wasn't a real person in Fight Club.
I can also say with certainty that you still won't get complaint emails, and that somehow I'll get a complaint email for this segment, like always, telling me to take a hike.
No one ever complains to anything I do, because nothing I do is ever really that controversial. It really is, except for Festivus, of course.
Me neither. Well, except for Festivus. Yeah, that was controversial.
Yeah, well, Rand Paul's actually doing Festivus today.
Is he?
He does it every year. He started off with grievances against his opponents in the primary. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. I'll go through we have a couple minutes left. We'll go through some of Rand Paul's grievances. I think that's all right.
I'm going to say
we can't do our own, but we can do Rand Paul's.
We can do Rand Paul's. I'm going to say that one of his grievances probably has something to do with that spending bill that happened a few days ago that he's kind of irate about because I think he said, quote, no one read it.
Yeah.
Or something to that extent. Yeah. Maybe not exact quote.
Okay, here, Rand Paul, he has a grievance for Bernie Sanders. Says, unless you're Santa Claus, socialism runs out of other people's money. Okay.
Smart man.
Okay, here's to my absentee friend Marco Rubio. I didn't put your $170,000 salary in my waste report today, but I could have.
That's a good one.
I have no grievances against my fellow doctor, Ben Carson, because I have not heard a word he's said in any debate. He does speak kind of softly.
That's funny.
Yeah, here's his grievance with Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has not pledged to issue an executive order declaring Canadian bacon is not real bacon. Makes me suspicious. It's ham. I mean, Canadian bacon's ham, right?
Right? Yeah.
I think it's some kind of
ham.
It's some kind of ham. I don't care what anybody says.
I
it's
agree
ham.
completely. This is not bacon.
No.
Stop it with its bacon.
Yeah, it's not bacon. Canadians. Finally, Donald Trump. Apparently, he's always trying to give us parting gifts of his made in China ties. It is. I mean, I know you don't do the social media thing, but someone will probably recap this at the end of the day. A lot of it's funny stuff, but he does do some pretty serious stuff.
Is this Rand? Is this actually him?
The real Rand? Oh, yeah.
These are his. Interesting.
Yeah, and he really does his own. He probably has a staffer that types them in, but he comes up with these on his own. So
those are pretty good.
Rand Paul celebrating Festivus. At least he's allowed to. Okay, what do we have going on in sports?
Coming up in sports, an airing of grievances.
No. Stop.
You're listening to Don Carpenter on Newsradio 1270.